Welcome on in, guys. Tobin here with you, and thanks for checking out the channel. Your Miami Hurricanes victorious over the Duke Blue Devils, a 50-burger on Manny Diaz and his hair gel. They win 53-31, improved to 9-0 on the season, and 5-0 in ACC play. Another game for the Canes that was not without its adversity. And this is one of those where they had to fight back. They got off to a real fast start in this game. Then they hit a bit of the skids. Manny Diaz, his defense has been very good to no one's surprise. His team very good at taking the football away. And they had their time. They had their time in the middle of this fight. They went up double digits at one point on the Miami Hurricanes. The defense looked really, really bad and had some times where, you know, all those big plays that you've been queasy about them giving up. This was yet another game where that reared its ugly head. And then also, I mean, to Duke's credit, just had some incredible playmaking as well. You know, you got to give it up to Jordan Moore. Had two incredible catches. One that completely swung what was probably going to be a first quarter blowout, and he really rallied his team. You got to give credit to Malik Murphy also as well on that. And then I mean, he had the Jordan logo catch. This is two catches in a row this week where we've gotten the one-handed grab that looked absolutely incredible. That being said, it would not be enough. Even with that great job by him. It would be a drive that really, you got to wonder for Manny Diaz going into that one where they go 4th and goal and they go for the field goal. And that was off of that was just off of a time where, all right, Kane just went back on top. Do you come all the way back and try and take the lead back? He decides to settle for the field goal. And this is where Miami really never looked back, because you had just an incredible touchdown pass, Cam Ward to Jacoby George, big-time play, 49 yards, squib kick that went to Lofton that he brought right to midfield. And the Canes, from that point, just, was in a pretty good spot. They were back in control of this game. Now, it wouldn't be over. Because, just a couple of drives later, Cam Ward would come back, and really the only criticism you could have of this kid's game, because he's been marvelous. I mean, right in line for that Heisman Trophy. His numbers, we'll get to them in a second, have been incredible. How he started this game, the touchdown play that he and Xavier Restrepo, who once again, the two stars of the game, the way they started off, where he looked sunk, he looked dead, he looked, this play done in the water, just finds a way to throw it on up, make a play, ball gets tipped, Xavier Restrepo comes down with the touchdown and puts Miami up top 7-0 to start this puppy. When he goes and makes those superhero plays, that could be your only response to when he will make some of these crazy plays that end in interception. And so that's what ended up happening is Cam Ward is going and he's, nearly on the sidelines. This comes right back after where it was he almost found X for a great play, and it was a nice breakup by the Duke defense. And they get after him all the way down the sidelines. He throws completely across his body and ends up getting picked off. They throw a flag. It was a holding on Maui Noah. And Duke has their chance in this one. They're down 8 at that point. Could march it down. And instead, Miami's able to force a 3-and-out. Almost picked off by O.J. Federico, who really, if you go back and you look at this game and where momentum probably swung back to the Canes, you would probably have to go back to that one. You would have to go back to Frederick's interception. Really felt like, okay, this is swinging the game back in Miami's favor. He comes back, gets a huge pickoff to put it in and give another possession in Miami's hands. He was tremendous. That was when the Canes would go. They were down. They get their first touchdown. They go down 28-25. Duke would get the football back, and then Malik Murphy was going deep, and it was picked up by Frederic. And that would be where Miami would go back and take the lead after the next drive. So huge play. But man, like Cam Ward does this all the time. Like you got to take the crazy interceptions with he's nearly swallowed up by two defenders. Quick play to Isaiah Horton. The touchdown pass to Xavier Restrepo. Just the stones on this kid is unbelievable. But I will be honest, I do think that the Canes have needed other people to come up and step up with big time plays in the aftermath. And so I do feel like while, yeah, there are concerns about the defense and you don't want to keep putting yourselves in just dire situations, the fortitude that this quarterback has given this entire team has just been it's so much fun. It's been a damn roller coaster ride. So after that play, 39-31, Frederic nearly picks it off. Maui Noah nearly picks it off on the same play. They got a bad punt. And then the play owed a game outside of the opening touchdown. Xavier Restrepo, 68-yard touchdown reception from Cam Ward to become the all-time Canes leader in catches and receiving yards. What a goosey story, dude. Reggie Wayne came in afterwards, and he tweeted, "Congrats, Xavier Restrepo, on becoming the Canes' all-time leading yards and catches. Well done, champ. Keep going. Let me see if I have some eligibility left." So really cool. There was a moment today where like Michael Irvin, who's wearing his lucky shirt, comes over. He kisses Cam Ward on the head afterwards. That dude loves his Canes. It's really cool. But after that, it felt like it was all Miami. After that one, they get another interception today. It's Richards with a pickoff on Murphy. He did get hurt. That was one of the real bummer stories. By the end of this game, it did not look great. He had to be helped off. Carted off eventually, but it basically put the Canes like right there to set themselves up for another touchdown. That would give Miami the 50 burger that they would need. Mark Fletcher scoring the touchdown. That would be, he's obviously dealing with the tragic passing of his father. So you have that emotion that's going there. He's looking at the heavens. Incredible. The next drive after that, Miami would force a fumble on Murphy. They'd get the ball back. Cam Ward's still in there, and they were going to try and go for the 60-piece. He found Williams down the sidelines, put him right on the doorstep, and then Cam Ward took a blindside hit and fumbled it. Duke recovered. I know everybody was a little bit crazy. Why was he out there? One, I don't think that Mario Cristobal can really tell him no. Second of all, I like the fact that the Canes were going for the 60-piece on Manny Diaz's hair-gelled head. I got no problem with it. I'm cool with it. And, kudos to Duke. They made a big play. They ended up getting the ball back. That would be all she wrote. Miami was able to seal this one and get themselves into victory, winning this one. What was the line? Was the line at 21? I believe it was 21 that it closed, 21 and a half. So I think they did end up covering in a game that they were down double digits. I have said all year, I came into this week and I was nervous about it because obviously you have a noon game at home. Those are always a little bit weird. You always wonder what the energy is going to be like. You have the emotion. What is Duke going to be feeling coming off the game they could pick up the football. Manny Diaz typically has a good defense. Miami far and away scored the most points Duke has given up all year. Duke had, to that point, the most they had given up was last week to SMU. They gave up 28 points, and that was in overtime in a game that they got 6 turnovers. They had given up 24 in a loss to Georgia Tech. That was the most. They had 21 they had given up to UConn. But this far and away, I mean, you basically went in there and almost doubled up the most points that they had given up all year. This Canes offense, it just has so many weapons. The quarterback's obviously incredible. And they've shown like a shift, like one thing to another. Not that the run game was bad today. The run game certainly was effective. Martinez still had 6 yards per carry. Mark Fletcher over 5 yards a carry. You rushed for 126 yards. So it was more of a two-headed monster type of deal today. But today in the passing game, I mean, Restrepo and George and Horton all showing up big for the Canes, and they put up 400 yards in the passing game. Cam Ward finishes today 25 of 41, 400 yards 5 touchdowns, 1 interception, of course, 1 fumble lost. Probably could have had 6 there if he was able to hold on to the football, but alas, the Heisman campaign, which kind of officially got underway this week, it gets another big time feather in its cap. You beat your former coach, who obviously was feeling froggy. He comes out of halftime and he's like, "Hey, it's 0-0. We're leading." But Duke, to their credit, they would come out right out of the gate. They're up 4, and they go right away. They score a touchdown to go up double digits on the Canes, and so Miami was really had a gut check there in their building. They had a gut check. They were put in a tough spot. This is a game you go up 14-0. It completely swings to Duke's way. You can't stop them. They're doing nothing but stop you. And the Miami Hurricanes were able to go out there and put it on them in the second half. And it's hard to know, like, what, I'm doing this at 4:00, so we don't know how the rest of the games are going to shake out for today. The first rankings come out on Tuesday, so we'll get an idea of where this has. But look, man, this was a team that last week probably should have had a win over a ranked team. I certainly don't think they're a bad team, and I think they had Miami on the ropes for a little bit, but Miami was just too much in the aftermath of it. So I just tell all Canes fans, like, look, you got to keep enjoying the ride on this one. Yeah, I don't want to do the negative thing here. Ooh, the defense is concerned. Dude, come on. You have to admit, you are watching a thrill ride of a football team right now. They are fun. You have probably the best quarterback in the league. You have an incredible receiver who is a school record breaker in Xavier Restrepo, which is honestly becoming more impressive because of the way people are up and leaving schools left and right. So to have that kind of longevity and go through the eras that he has, I think speaks a lot to Xavier Restrepo. And, what that sets up for him at the next level is going to be absolutely, absolutely monstrous. But enjoy this, man. Enjoy this for the Miami Hurricanes. They are going to be going to Georgia Tech next week. And we'll see where that lies with them and where it goes for them. But they this one, they rallied back when it was looking dicey, and they put an impressive showing after it looked like it could have gone a really bad way. Instead, they put they not only get the win, but they put some style on it afterwards and smoke Manny Diaz. He can get to step in, him and his hair gel, and get the hell out of Miami.